Welcome to the first module of Ready to Fly. Here you will get a walkthrough of some of the record-keeping practices associated with you evaluating astronaut performance during their training. You'll also get a feel for how that data is used by you, by other instructors, and by the ISS program as a whole. In this lesson, you will first focus on how to use the Fox tool to pull up historical data on past crew performance, such as information entered by other instructors or data you entered yourself from previous training of that crew member. Your role as a course system instructor requires you to not only be ready to teach your system's content, but also to modify the delivery based on specific crew member needs. Historical data is one mechanism that can allow you to have insight into how to efficiently support your ISS crew members' training. Our goal in this module is that you should walk away with 4 capabilities. 1. You should be able to state from memory the key principles underlying the record-keeping practices associated with ISS crew member training. 2. You should be able to navigate to and interpret personal training history reports for those crew members. 3. You should be able to navigate to and interpret student assessment reports for those crew members. And 4. Similarly, you should be able to navigate to and interpret an objective evaluation report for those ISS crew members. Now, you may not be familiar with these 3 reports or the report function in Fox, but we will walk you through each of them. First, though, we would like you to briefly recall the content within the Expedition Instructor Preparation Training Manual with regard to record-keeping practices. You should have reviewed this document upon becoming an expedition instructor. In sum, there are 4 main points that you should understand. 1. Within FOD, it is standard practice to keep records of ISS crew performance. This paper trail is used both to justify sign-off of the Certificate of Flight Readiness and also to support later audits if questions of crew performance on orbit come into play. 2. Crew records are private and protected data. All ISS core team instructors, their management, crew member management, and the crew themselves can see evaluations written by you and other instructors, but that is only a small subset of the Flight Operations Directorate. While you will need to pull up records to do your job, that information should not be distributed. 3. Fox is the primary tool for storing performance records in FOD. You're likely familiar with Fox from the aspect of your own training program that led to your certification, as well as its capabilities for bringing together all sorts of data and resources together. However, you will now have to get comfortable with the evaluation and feedback capabilities of the tool. 4. Crew members training for the ISS have a multitude of classes they take in preparation for flight. All the information that can be pulled up within Fox can be done so by accessing a crew member's training program. So, how do you pull up that data? You go to your link to your Fox tool, of course. Again, you should be familiar with Fox Production and the link to get to it from your prior work. What's interesting, though, is that when you get into Fox, you can obtain useful insights by running reports on past crew training. Simply click on Reports on the left-hand tab and then select Instructors to get a short list of available reports that would apply. 2 useful reports are the Training History and Training History with Objectives reports. For either report, simply find the crew member in question in the username field and then hit View Report. So as you can see, those 2 are highlighted here. If you select on either of those, you will then get a web-based report that you can page through, or you can select an icon in the upper center that will allow you to download the report in various formats such as PDF or Excel. First, you'll simply need to select the name of the crew member in question, hit View Report, and then, as you can see, that little diskette icon will then allow you to take the web-based report and turn it into a PDF or Excel. So if all you are looking for is how long ago a crew member took a lesson or just confirmation that those particular lessons have been completed, then the simple training history is appropriate as the dates of events are clearly listed. However, running the Training History with Objectives report gives you a little bit different data. So this data includes information about instructor feedback on crew performance and exactly what content was covered. You can use this content to get a feel for what to expect when you have to teach that crew member yourself. It's also a way to refresh yourself on what you yourself wrote in earlier sessions if it's been a while. Again, your goal here is to kind of work with your crew members and understand what they need, and this can help you to do that. Moving on, under Reports you can also click on the Students tab and select Student Assessments. This will lead you to a different type of page where you can select USOS personnel, which will be your kind of subset of crew members, and then you can pick the specific student that you want to see, and then under Training Program you can select that specific crew member you're interested in. However, one wrinkle is that if they have flown more than once, they may have multiple listings. In those cases, pick the flight you care about and then click View Report. The options for reviewing the report are pretty much the same as previously seen. What's different though about a student assessments report is that it kind of looks a little bit more at how they have done across a broad scope of things. It provides general insight into the initial training phase of ISS crew, and you can get a feel for how satisfactorily they've been performing overall using that kind of overview of ratings for two areas: performance on learning objectives and demonstration performance on physical skills. So it's rated kind of like a Likert scale from 1 to 5. You can see this particular example, pretty much everybody scored 3 or better across this entire flow, but you can see that there were several points of higher satisfaction or even outstanding throughout. Your goal with reports like these is to just better understand your crew and what they're capable of. Also, under the Students tab in Fox Reports, you can find another report, the Objective Evaluation Report. This report is useful in that it allows you to target crew performance data specifically for your primary system, whether it be ECLSS, CDH, EPS, or what have you. Simply enter the information as you have before, but now you additionally specify the system in the subject field and then hit View Report. Once you have the report, simply click on the plus sign to expand out a given flow or lesson. You will be able to see overall comments on crew performance as well as notations on specific skills noted in a lesson. So that's one thing that's a little bit different with this type of report. Using this information, you can know what has been covered and where the strengths and weaknesses of a given crew member are. This should allow you to better gauge where to press and where to offload in future training sessions. So, to summarize for today, Fox is our record-keeping tool of choice. Fox Records supports certification of flight readiness and are also the basis for audits of training that has occurred, and Fox Records support better targeting of instruction for crew, allowing insight into past performance. Data that is pulled up and incorporated into these reports comes from instructor-provided assessment data of crew performance, and it's your job to make sure that gets into the Fox for Crew lessons. That will be what we focus on in subsequent lessons 2, 3, and 4.